In a previous video, we tested stock versus Technic versus bearing wheel sets. Today we test magnets, including some fake ones. I mentioned in the spine car video that official train couplers had become quite hard to find. Lego stopped making the fork and magnet combination more than 10 years ago. At the same time, I had not been able to find an unofficial source. Some modelers have started using adapted knuckles or hooks, but I don't think these will work well on smaller radii, and I want to maintain backward compatibility. More recently, I found a replacement item from Lifelights, and I finally bought a few for evaluation. These go for $6 a pair, nominally not that expensive compared to the genuine article, but shipping nearly doubles the price of a single set to about $10. To be fair, the same problem goes for making small orders on Bricklink. I ended up buying more than one set to amortize the cost. So, how do these compare to the real thing? These third-party magnets differ significantly from the official 73092. The magnet, presumably neodymium, sits between two clamshells rather than inside a ring. This almost certainly simplifies manufacturing while maintaining compatibility with the stock forks. In fact, the three-part construction relies on external constraints to keep the assembly together. For better or worse, the clamshell has no adhesive between the two halves. The forks look much more like their official counterpart. Even some of the seams and injection markings look the same. They only leave off the Lego logo. The clutch of the half pin feels slightly looser than stock, while the clutch of the fork feels about the same as stock. Both the real and fake magnets spin freely in both the real and fake forks. Okay, but what about the performance? Luckily, this simple test does not require a new contraption. I can use my existing train pull contraption. Rather than use a locomotive to pull weights up, I use the weights to pull a coupling apart. The weights come in increments of 20 grams, and I can change the magnets on both ends of the coupling. I tested several combinations of old, new, and fake magnets. While the test is a bit boring, I do think the results are worth documenting. In previous tests, the old magnets held about 180 grams, but in this test, they held up to 200 grams before dropping to 20 grams. In a train pull, acceleration probably adds a bit more force, such that the magnets come apart at a lower nominal weight. I didn't really know what to expect from an old magnet to fake magnet pairing. The stronger neodymium has to pull through a layer of plastic, but apparently this combination can still pull 240 grams before breaking at 260 grams. I thus expected two fake magnets to do even better, but I didn't know by how much. This coupling beat the previous one by about 100 grams, holding 360 grams before dropping 380 grams and nearly flipping the jig off the table. This doesn't quite match the strength of sandwiching a naked neodymium magnet between two old magnets, something we used to do for long trains at lug events. This quote-unquote supermagnet coupling pulls yet another 100 grams, almost half a kilogram. LEGO has been making a newer style of magnet coupler since around 2007. These also feature a magnet trapped in plastic casing, but the magnet flops around inside. I don't use these except on train motors due to their mechanical and aesthetic inflexibility and their potential unreliability. Sometimes it takes multiple couplings to seat the internal magnet properly. I still included these new magnets in the test since all current LEGO train sets come with them. Limitations on the testing jig mean I can only use them on one side, but we can look at the results of two test cases nonetheless. A new and old magnet combination held 160 grams and broke at 180 grams. This is the lowest figure we have seen so far, suggesting that the new part pulls less than both the old part and the fake part. Oddly then, pairing a new magnet with a fake magnet held 260 grams before dropping 280 grams, slightly more than the old to fake coupling. This could have come from variance between individual parts of the same type, but testing those differences would have doubled or tripled the number of tests, so let us know in the comments if you want to see something like that. Logically, we should put these magnets at the ends of our strongest locomotives, but looking back at the updated train pull results linked in the description, we only have one or two engines that can break stock magnets anyway. We say it a lot, but locomotive weight almost always limits the pulling power. Furthermore, we can't really test durability without using the fake magnets a lot, but overall they seem like a reasonable option for those looking to stick to the older magnet coupler mechanism. On that note, this is the end of the video. Please consider subscribing if you like what we do, and have a nice day.